Welcome, welcome. Today we are talking about the Amazon optimized launch. We are on our roadmap. Oh, I gotta close this window though because it steals my bandwidth. We're on our map, and our first week we talked through the manuscript. We've talked through quite a few of the book pieces at a high level, and we've been going through the plan this way. Which is we need our author website freebie email list set up kind of first. We need our pre-launch setup. We talked about our book launch team yesterday, and today we're going through the Amazon optimized launch. And we have our big checklist as well. It is unwieldy because it's 15 pages of check the box goodness. So you know what's involved with publishing your book, because it's all fun and games to write a book. Actually, it's difficult to write a book. I'll admit that. It is sitting down and writing the book is a major accomplishment. And sometimes we get so focused on that mountain in front of us of writing the book, we forget that as soon as we crest the top of that mountain, we are going to see another mountain, which is the mountain of publishing a book. And then spoiler alert, once you crest that mountain, there's the even, it's a mountain range of book marketing. And so my whole goal for these sessions with you guys is, yes, to give you hopefully some inspiration and guidance on the writing process, because that is the first mountain that we cross, that we scale. And to give you a preview of kind of what's coming down the pipeline for you next. Too many metaphors. What's on the map for you next with publishing and with marketing. So let me show you where you can get all the resources. Now, admittedly, today, the resources are coming soon for the most part, but I will share them with you live, and there will be recordings and resources. Grab the link for everybody who's in the Zoom room with me. All people, paperravenbooks.com/nano-resources. paperravenbooks.com/nano-resources. And that will take you to our little private community, where we have fun resources and events and things for writers and authors. It looks like a Facebook group. It feels like a Facebook group. It smells like a Facebook group, but it is not on Facebook. It is in a private area. This whole area is open to the public, so anyone can join. If you have writer friends, feel free to invite them to join over here. And then this is also where we, serve our clients and authors who are in containers with us, who are in book coaching and mentorship, or we're doing publishing services for as well. But all of this is open to the public, and you'll see our upcoming live events are here with details on how to join. And then our, it did not post. Oh, it did, but I had this one pinned. Let me unpin that. Oh, it's fine. I'll unpin it later. We're in day 9, the Amazon optimized launch. If you'd like to catch up, you can scroll to the bottom and you can see all the things that we've been doing with the NaNoWriMo Prep-A-Thon and the book idea decision matrix and power writing and flow state triggers and sketching a narrative arc and a reverse outline. And then we get to our publishing roadmap and checklist. So this is the checklist that we're going through in the 1-sheet roadmap. And we talked about publishing information and designing a book. We talked about author platform foundations, and now we're getting into the Amazon optimized launch. I know, Martha said, my dream as an English major in college was working at a publishing house. I love all of it. I know, I interned at a publishing house, but it's more politics and things than you might imagine. When all we want to do all day is read books and design books and talk about books, it's amazing. Yes, day 9 says coming soon. Apologies, Casey. All righty, good. I'm glad that y'all are loving it. I do want to share with you when we think about a launch, in fact, let me come back for just a second. I'll share my screen here in a second. When we think about a launch, I want us to admit out loud that a launch does not exist until we decide it exists. Okay, so the crazy thing is your book is going to be available before you actually launch it. This is true of bringing any product to market. I mean, basically, we need to have everything locked and loaded and ready for sale until we start officially saying this product is launched, and so with the way that we do print on demand, which is an extremely efficient and effective way to publish books. Even traditional publishers are really getting on the print on demand bandwagon. They'll either do print on demand or they're starting to do more and more small print runs, partly because it's less waste if we do small print runs. And the technology has gotten so much better that we are able to do small print runs and print on demand and have really good quality, which is amazing. So when we are independently publishing, what we have to do is have everything basically live and for sale before the actual launch day. And then, of course, with traditional publishing, we talked about yesterday how they're out there selling, 6 months in advance of the quote unquote launch day. And so this whole promotion experience really is what we make of it. We are going to choose a day. We're going to choose the time frame. We're going to choose, how we go out and gather eyeballs and sort of start to generate the conversation around our books. It really comes from us. Like, it's not a magical, mythical, suddenly the whole world cares about our book moment. Actually, we really have to bring the energy and the excitement and the conversation. And many of us, if we're doing this for the first time, we don't realize how much of us is really needed to show up, not only for the launch itself, but as we talk more tomorrow about ongoing book marketing, it is our fire in our belly that keeps the momentum, keeps the energy, keeps the conversation alive around our books. And in order to direct this launch event, it can be very helpful to have some specific things in mind that we are aiming for. Now, I'm going to talk about these as key performance indicators, KPIs, which is just a term that's used across sort of business landscapes, just to say, what are the numbers we're aiming for? What are we trying to accomplish? And again, we are the ones who are, I want to say fabricating. That sounds very fictional, but we are the ones who are deciding and bringing the energy and bringing the focus to this book is launching on this day. And therefore, I'm going to go out and I'm going to be talking to my book launch team. I'm going to be posting on social media. I'm going to be going out to some different lists of readers. I'm going to be setting up this promotion. So I'm kind of just giving us a little bit of this context so we can start to take a little bit of ownership around if this is something that I care deeply about, I am going to create this launch. And I think this is helpful to preview, to have in mind before you get there, because it can be a bit of a surreal experience, particularly if most of our lives, and this is just modern society, right? Most of our lives is just kind of showing up. And, we show up at school as kids and we turn in our homework and the teachers tell us when things are due and they tell us what we have to have done before we graduate. And it continues on with college and with graduate school. And, even when we go off to our jobs, someone else kind of tells us what the big goals are and how we contribute. And we show up and we turn in our projects and we have our meetings and we do our work. And it's a lot of following other people's agendas. in school and in work, and even family life. It's like, oh, well, we got the kids into these activities and we got to prepare for this competition or this performance. And so we're going to go to these practices and the coaches are going to tell us what to do, or the teachers are going to, have the schedule all laid out for us. And so there's a lot of I'm not wanting to get quite so philosophical about this, but I think it's important to recognize that part of the reason why we struggle internally to launch a book or launch a product or launch a business is because so much of our lives, we really haven't had to be the person who is the thrust behind the initiative. We show up, we are part of a collaborative experience where there's usually someone else who's kind of leading the charge, and we are contributing. We're probably contributing in a very significant way. However, we're not necessarily usually the one who is being the initiator, the one with the fire in their belly, and we're going to go after this. Once we become an author, or to Margaret's point, self-employed, right? Like once starting a business, all of this is very related. Launching a book, starting a business, even like deciding to put together, like maybe if you've ever put it together an event for a nonprofit, a lot of these sorts of activities where you decide, I'm going to lead the charge. I've got the fire in my belly and I'm ready to, take this on. Suddenly it's a totally different experience, and it can feel, as I said, surreal, like what is happening? So just know you're going to be bringing the energy to this. You're so welcome. Okay. So what are our KPIs, my recommended KPIs? I have a slide. I actually shared this on Friday. We went a little bit deeper into this on Friday, but this is, I think, a good visual to kind of, I always use this word. I need to discover whether it's a real word. I should probably just ask Google. I like to be able to concretize or make concrete these abstract things, that are best practices, like to make them more concrete. And sometimes just looking at boxes of text help to concretize. Okay, great. Providence says that is a word. Okay, good. So we have marketing actions. These are the things that we can actually do and influence and have some sort of direct impact on these actions. And what we will see, the results of these actions will be our KPIs, our key performance indicators that let us, that we're ultimately going for in a book launch. So what are some marketing actions? Your book launch team. I would say the most important thing that you can do as an author is to gather a book launch team. 10 people, 50 people, 100 people, or more. Whatever number of people you can put on a book launch team, this is what I have seen over and over and over and over and over again, is that when we can have that initial group of people who have read the book in advance and are ready to leave a review and share your book, that can have ripple effects on everything else, positive, amazingly positive ripple effects on everything else, including you as the author. These are the people that are going to bolster your confidence in the midst of this topsy-turvy launch. These are the people who are going to say, you know what? Your book is great. I left a review. I told my friend about it. I'm so proud of you. I'm, honored to call you my friend. Maybe they won't say that, but they're the people who are really going to bolster your confidence in this process. And when they do the very practical thing of leave a review and share the book with a friend, it creates these sort of ripple effects that positively influence everything else. Strategic social media. So I'm going to share some examples of social media. This changes, like the tactical thing changes a little bit, but the strategy does not. So the tactical thing might be an image or a short video, or, are we on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok? That's the tactical things, like what it is and where it is posted will change over time, just because social media changes over time, right? The strategy is get something in front of people's eyeballs and ask them to share. Ask them to download your book and leave a review and share. And so we want the thing that we are putting onto social media, which is really just media, right? The thing that we are putting out onto the free media that we all have access to, we want people to see it and take an action and share it. And so that changes over time, but the what we do changes, but the strategy remains. We want to optimize visibility on Amazon. And some of the things we've already been talking about actually are helping that already. And so we're going to look at an Amazon sales page and, we'll see that we've actually begun to optimize our books for Amazon already. But there's a few sort of final things that we want to put a pin in to really make sure that we know how we're taking advantage of discoverability on Amazon and social proof on Amazon and conversion on Amazon. Paid promotion. A lot of folks don't realize that there are some very easy ways that we can pay $20, $40 and have someone tell a whole bunch of readers that our book is out. So that can be actually really powerful for getting the initial traction underneath the book in front of a wider audience, beyond our direct contacts, beyond the folks that we have available to us on social media, beyond the browsers on Amazon. We can actually target lists of readers and let them know about our book. And influencers. Influencers are going to be a part of our, like tomorrow as we go into long-term book marketing. Getting to know people who are movers and shakers in our genre is like a career-long project, right? It's building relationships, right? It's building relationships with people who have gone before you and have gotten the type of success that you want to get in your space. And really, a lot of this is like, we know how to do this in other domains, right? In other areas of our life. We know that if we want to, go to a great college, we should probably get to know some of the professors who are there who might speak on our behalf in the admission process. So certainly in graduate school, that becomes important, right? You want to get to know who are the people that are doing research in your field and kind of get to know them. Or in any other industry, like, my husband's company was invited to party last night, like a dinner party, just to get people in the same room so that they can mix and mingle and get to know each other. And, whatever happens in the corporate world, I'm very unfamiliar with corporate world, but it seems like from the outside looking in, you want to have these conversations where folks who want to do things together, collaborate, they have similar goals, they want to get together. It's exactly the same thing in the book world. You just want to get to know who are either the authors or the book reviewers in your space who are already doing cool stuff. Maybe they release really amazing books and have a great following. You might want to get to know them. Maybe they do a lot of interviews with authors. You might want to get to know them, right? Maybe they review books and they post book reviews on TikTok or YouTube. You might want to get to know them, right? So it's the same kind of, we're all human at the end of the day, right? So it's the same kind of human networking, getting to know each other that is important in the book world too. Yes, Charlotte says, can we do these things if our book was published earlier, like 2 years ago? Yes, you can relaunch books, and you will be relaunching your books over and over and over again, right? All of these marketing actions, we can actually cycle back through over and over again to continue to push our books out to more and more people. So these are the things that we have much more control over, right? We can gather a book launch team and communicate with our book launch team. We can post on media. Social media is the free version for us. We can optimize our books for Amazon. We can pay for lists of readers. We can, get to know influencers. We have a sense of how we have some agency over those actions. What we hope those actions produce are launch results. And so when we're thinking about launching a book, we like to condense it into a 5-day window. And, it's day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, and day 5. And on and every day, really throughout the day, we're tracking 3 things. How many downloads or sales have come in for the book? Have we hit any #1 rankings, or how many #1 rankings have we hit? And how many reviews are on the book? And the big goals for all 5 days, usually we want to see something like 1,000 downloads or sales, something like at least one #1 ranking, but often we'll see a few #1 rankings. We want to capture the screenshots of the book being #1 when it is #1 in a category, and the number of reviews that are coming in. And by launch day #2, if we are not seeing hundreds of downloads or sales, we're thinking, what can we do? Let's go back to our marketing actions. Do we need to post something different on social media, or see if we can get someone to share on their social media? Do we need to reach out to another list to pay for some promotion? Is there an influencer who maybe hasn't shared yet that we could, remind them, can you please share this, right? So we go back to our marketing actions and just say, are there any more actions that we can take that might drive more downloads or sales? #1 rankings. If we're not seeing #1 rankings, it might be because of downloads or sales. It might also be that, are we seeing the categories that we selected? Are they showing up on the Amazon sales page? I'll show you where to look for those. And so sometimes it's about going back to Amazon and saying, hey, Amazon, get those categories in the way that we told you to get those categories in. We want to see those #1 rankings. And then reviews. If we're not seeing a handful of reviews by end of day 1, beginning of day 2, we're wondering, wait a second, is this do we need to motivate people to leave reviews? Or is there a technical problem and Amazon is withholding reviews or pulling back on the reviews that it's posting? But these are the things that we are looking at every single day. And I was trying to remember. Oh yeah. There's a helpful concept in a book called The 4 Disciplines of Execution, which is by Stephen Covey's son and a couple of co-authors. And they have this concept of lead measures and lag measures, which I found to be very helpful to think about. Lead measures are what you do, the actions you take that you can specifically control, but they're not the result that you're looking for. They're the things that you're doing to get the result. Lag is always going to be the resulting, numbers that you can't control specifically, right? I can't control how many downloads or sales I get from a book, but I can control whether I, posted on social media or paid for promotion or, got my keywords into my book, that sort of thing. So I think it's a helpful framework to think about lead versus lag. And then just to show you, this is our base camp where we're tracking stats for people. And we're looking at, here's our #1 in these categories, and we're capturing screenshots along the way. And we're looking at the total number of downloads. And we're capturing, if we're launching multiple books, we're seeing also what's happening for the backlist books. So for Sabine, we're launching book #3, and a happy consequence was book #1 was rising in the ranks because we were pushing book #3 for the launch. Okay, so let me show you an Amazon page. Yeah, talking about reviews. Reviews, they will come in. Amazon does allow reviews to come in pretty quickly. Sometimes there's a bit of a delay, but if you don't see any reviews on a book and people have been leaving reviews, sometimes you just have to reach out to Amazon and say hey, what's happening? We have these, Amazon customers who told us they left a review and it's not showing up. What's happening? And so sometimes you just have to communicate with Amazon. Okay, so let's look at an Amazon optimized sales page. So again, some of these things we've already been talking about. We've talked about the main title you'll want it to be something curiosity provoking, right? And the subtitle you can actually play with. In this case, we're doing a little bit of an experiment. We put in parentheses in the subtitle, a true story of terror and trauma, unlikely survival, and the power of faith over fear. Now, this is just for Amazon, right? This is a subtitle that's on the ebook. It doesn't even show up on the cover. We're just kind of playing with, does this bring more eyeballs to the sales page? This is the sales page, right? This is the page that we want to bring everybody to, where they can buy their ebook version, their paperback version, their hardback version, their audio version, if that's available. We want the book cover to be a good book cover. The title needs to be legible, like big font, readable. We need an eye-catching image. If we have any social proof like awards or things like that, we might put the little medallion for the awards on it, that sort of thing. Description, we do need a description that's going to tease or introduce or preview the characters, the main conflict, and what type of book this is, right? So, this one starts off with the greatest survival story you'll ever read. And so you're already starting to get a flavor for what's happening in this book. On the Amazon sales page, we get as long a description as we want. So you can, I've even seen people add like excerpts from the book, if they lead into a good sort of cliffhanger. But ultimately, we want to give people an idea of the characters, the main conflict, and what they're going to experience, what type of book this is. We want to think about, since I've got the book, it's not showing it quite. That's fine. We want to have your author information here. People should be able to see your photo. And this is what's called A+ content. So this is a visual image that or multiple images that you're allowed to put on the sales page. These have become more and more prevalent across book pages. And I'll show you a software where you can make images like this pretty easily. But it's just an image that can highlight either lines from the book. One boy must stand up to evil. It's up to him to survive and overcome fear, right? So it's highlighting some of these themes in the book itself. You can also use these images for reviews, like if you've received any praise blurbs or professional reviews or reviews that came in as part of the book award process. You can create these images and it just adds a little bit more interest, keeps people on the page, keeps them thinking about buying the book. Here is where you can see where the book is ranking right now. So we can see these are 3 categories where the book is currently ranking. And I wonder, I'll look and see who's launching right now so that we can dive into how we look at not only these 3 categories, but above and beyond just those 3 categories when a book is launching. And then you have your Amazon Author Central bio right here. So you do want to have a photo and bio. And the reviews, of course, we want reviews. Ideally, we want reviews that are a verified purchase. So one of the ways that we like to do this is we do set the ebook for free for at least a few days. I actually like to set the ebook for free for 5 days. So that whole 5-day launch window, I like the ebook to be free because anyone like on our book launch team or anyone who finds the book, when they download the ebook for free and they come back and leave a review, it's a verified purchase review. So the book world has struggled with this a little bit with Amazon because it's a long-standing tradition in the book world to provide advanced review copies, ARCs, and let people read the book and then post a review. However, Amazon, and this is, I don't know, years ago, Amazon said, well, if we can't tell whether the person actually purchased the book through our bookstore, then we're not going to mark it as a verified purchase. Let me see if any of these are not verified. We try for all of them to be verified if possible. Those are all verified. It just won't, this little orange text just won't be there if it's not verified. And so, well, the book world was like, but this is what we do. We give out advanced review copies and then people come and leave a review. And Amazon said, sorry, if they did not purchase the book through the Amazon bookstore, we're not going to stamp it with verified purchase. And actually the verified purchase reviews are weightier in the algorithm, if that makes sense. So they have more influence on the visibility of the book in the bookstore. So to get around that, what we do is set the ebook for free for 5 days. Everyone who downloads the ebook, even though it's free, it's an easy ask for our friends and our family and our platforms and our email lists and all that. It's like, hey, it's free, come download the book. Now all of their reviews are verified purchase reviews. It also makes for, we talked about the launch, how we really have to bring the parameters for the launch. When the ebook is free for 5 days, it sets a time-bound promotion period. We can say, look, the ebook is free today through Saturday, October 21st, and so that gives us a reason to go out and say, download the ebook while it's free today. You can buy the physical version if you want, but please go ahead and download the ebook today and leave a review. And this promotion wraps up Saturday, October 21st or whatever it's going to be. So that provides a reason. We got time bound, a sense of urgency, and a reason for people to respond now and not later, because people are busy. They forget. Your book launch team is going to forget. Folks on social media, they'll see it, they'll be interested, they'll forget. But if you say, look, get it today while the ebook is free, suddenly they're like, oh, I'll go ahead and click over and I'll go ahead and get it. And the great thing is, if you remember when we were talking about categories and how many sales it takes to get to a number one in a category, if we're in a category that requires, a couple hundred sales to get to number one, the ebook downloads count toward the number one. So when we can get a couple hundred people to download an ebook for free, we're hitting number one in that category. And now that's activating the algorithm to show our book more widely. So I'm going to have to go down and get the links. This area is not public. So if you're looking for this, it is not public. Oh, okay, cool. So Nate's is free today. Let's check in. This is his book 1 in the series. So we're preparing actually to launch book 2 next week. So we're re-promoting, we're relaunching book 1 to get a bunch of readers onto book 1 in preparation for book 2 is coming out. Oh, book 2 is already a number 1 new release. Cool. We haven't even started. All right. So this ebook is free right now. Here's what it looks like when it's free. Amazon is so confusing. This is Kindle Unlimited. It will always say read for free. This always exists right here. It's their monthly subscription for, I don't remember if it's called Kindle Unlimited. I think it is called Kindle Unlimited. And so if you have a Kindle device and you're part of Kindle Unlimited, you can check out books almost like a library, but you're just paying a monthly subscription. And then the authors get paid like 1/10 of a penny per page or something ridiculous, right? So this will always say read for free. That's Kindle Unlimited. If you're a fiction author, I recommend that your first book is on Kindle Unlimited just to get, readers through the first book. This is a separate strategy than setting your ebook for free. This is setting your ebook for free. It will show Kindle price $0.00. And then it will say buy now with one click. And the cool thing is you can, yes, have it delivered to a Kindle device. You can also just read it on your computer. So if your book launch team is like, hey, I don't have a Kindle, you don't have to have a Kindle. You can just download it and it can deliver to your browser, right? So let me show you actually what that looks like. Oh, cool. Margaret says that she saw Nate's book. It was recommended by Amazon. Okay, so I just clicked the buy now button. I'm not on a Kindle, and I can read now in the Kindle Cloud Reader. And I'll open it up. And now I can, oh yeah, well, I was at the end of the book because I think I was using it for a demo earlier. So yep, so now I can just flip through. I can even just use the arrows on my keyboard. I'm a speed reader, so I love actually reading like this because I can get through it so much more quickly. But yeah, so you can read the whole book right here, just like this. And every single download. So I just hit download on this book. That just added another download to his overall numbers. And that will affect his position in these categories. And Amazon, yes, you give it 3 categories. It also broadens you out. So when you hit number 1 in one of these categories, so remember here, we kind of went through this in the category days, on the category day. This is your navigation bar of all of your different categories and how they're nested. So actually all of these categories are nested inside of literature and fiction. And literature and fiction is nested inside of teen and young adult. So we are in the big category of teen and young adult, but we are niched down. So within teen and young adult, we are inside of literature and fiction. And within literature and fiction, look at all these categories, we are inside of Westerns. So I'd have to look at Publisher Rocket to see exactly how many sales to number 1 are required. Category. Oh, come on. Chesson. Dave Chesson's the one who developed the software. Okay, that was a fast one. Let's look. Western. Alrighty, we are inside of, we're not inside of children's ebooks. We're actually inside of teen and young adult. These are alphabetical orders. Let me scroll down to the T. Teen and young adult, literature and fiction, Westerns. 12 sales to number 1. So we probably hit that really early on, right? And so it doesn't just keep you, once you hit number 1, it doesn't cap you. It doesn't say, oh, well, you hit number 1 in Westerns, you're done today. You're done for, that's as high as you can go. No, it actually then starts to show you more widely in the next category up. So the next category up here is literature and fiction. Let's check out literature and fiction. And yes, there's a paid store and there's a free store. Right now we're ranking in the free store because the ebook is free. However, all of this data is captured and stored in your book's metadata, sort of the back end of Amazon. It remembers which books you ranked, which categories your book ranked well in. So when the free promotion rolls off, we're typically also, ranking in the paid store once we flip over to paid. So it all builds. Okay, we're in Westerns. Let's go up a category here and see how we're doing in literature and fiction. So we're not number 1 in literature and fiction yet. We are. I should probably just search, see if it pulls up. Let's go to the next page. Admittedly, this is a much bigger category, right? So it probably takes a lot more to get up in literature and fiction. Okay, we're not yet ranking on literature and fiction, but I think, how many? Let's see. I gotta be careful on time. Once I go into these trains of thoughts, I already admitted that I'm not good at multitasking. I gotta be careful and watch my time here, but I'm curious. These numbers do change a little bit, so you do kind of have to watch them. It's worth refreshing stuff in Publisher Rocket just to get the most up-to-date numbers. So here we go. We've got all these subcategories of, we're not there yet. Let me scroll down to T for teen and young adult. T. There's a lot of categories. Literature and fiction was way too big to be searching for? Okay. Where's our, oh, I want Kindle. I want Kindle. I don't want, oh, you can do it. I believe in you. Click the radio button. There we go. All right. I want the Kindle bookstore. And we haven't fully talked about that, but Amazon, the highest visibility of any form of book is the Kindle version. So when Amazon takes you to a page, it is typically going to take you to the Kindle page. This will typically be highlighted. And so it's not apparent, but mechanically speaking, Amazon is showing ebook covers in the bookstore. And once you click on the ebook cover, it will take you to the whole sales page. So anytime we promote the ebook, we promote the whole sales page, but the ebook is what is most visible, most easy, like easiest to promote in the bookstore, which is why we have a lot of ebook strategies. Okay. So I wanted Kindle ebooks. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find this very quickly. It takes just a little bit of digging to find exactly what you're looking for, but maybe if and my bandwidth is not amazing. Come on. I'll probably apply a filter. Okay. Yeah, and then there's a whole sub specialty on like which categories are selectable and which ones does Amazon like auto populate for your book. There's a whole rabbit hole here. It's a big rabbit hole here. Okay, I'm not quickly going to be able to find what I want to find. But anyway, all that to say, Amazon doesn't cap your visibility at the small category. It will, in fact, start to show your book through the browsing categories through the browsing bars to those larger categories. Okay, so thank you, whoever was posting the links to the resources. Okay, I've got 14 minutes. So we want to bring everyone to this page during launch. We want the ebook to be free. We want those 7 keywords loaded in so that people can easily find the book on Amazon. We want those 3 categories where we're very niched down in the category so that we hit number 1 very quickly, very easily. And then we want all of our marketing actions to bring people to this page. Now, what might we post? You can check out Paper Raven Books. Something cool that we've been doing is these really short videos that kind of catch attention. They're not like, this is 5 seconds, right? These are not long videos. It's not a book trailer. Book trailers take a long time to like think through and script and produce and We have found this to be kind of, if you're going for the 80-20, if you're going for what can I spend the least amount of effort on and get the most sort of bang for my effort, these super short videos have been great where there's a little bit of movement, a little bit of text shown, and the call to action is just take them to Amazon, right? Take them straight to Amazon. So this is, you can almost think of it as like a mini book trailer for Sabine's. And it says, we try to get the link in at the top, and then we have the description of the book. And then, we have the link again. You can also put the link here in the comments, and you can see this had 5 shares. That's what we want, right? We want to be able to put something on social media and people are like, oh, interesting. And they click it, they engage with it, and they share it because they want other people to know about this. So that's the power of social media, is it's as easy as someone clicking share, and then suddenly it's in front of a new set of eyeballs. So this one reached 5,000 folks and had over 2,000 engagement. And we spent $100 to get it in front of 5,000 people, and people were sharing it. So they, spread it out to their audiences as well. right? So that was pretty powerful. If you want some examples of someone who's doing some cool things on TikTok, Sabine does these really neat little short videos on TikTok, and she's Thinking Dog Publishing is her username on TikTok. TikTok has become interesting because there's a whole section of TikTok that is book reviews. So you might have seen TikTok. It's typically a social media that you would look at on your phone. However, I just don't do a lot of social media on my phone. I'm usually on my desktop. You can also look at it on your desktop. You don't need an account to look at TikTok, but you can search book talk and go down a bit of a rabbit hole. But these are all book reviews. And when these first started out, they were primarily book reviews of YA and romance. So you're going to see a lot of that. So for instance, let me make sure I don't have my sound on. I don't want the sound. Okay. So they show books. And they show, so this one, she's showing how quickly she read this book as a binge read book. And she's saying, I loved this book, And so, and then other people are saying, this book is so good. So happy you loved it, just shared on, or just, that says just started my account. And sometimes they have actual reviews, the things they liked, the things they didn't like. Someone else is like, yeah, I read that book too. They'll put star ratings on it. They might talk about the book. So there's a whole side of TikTok that is nothing but book reviews. And like this one TikToker, that's what they're called. The people who post these videos, like this one got 15. Oops, sorry. Okay. This one got 15,000 views, And S is like, yeah, I found that book on TikTok and I read it and I enjoyed it. This is what has moved the needle for some of these authors, the Colleen Hoovers, I even have that one. I pulled that out as an example. Holly Blacks, like these people who had backlists, books that have been published 10 years ago, and they're getting a revival because folks on TikTok are posting book reviews. So, just fascinating. I just want you guys to know about this. Susan Neal's like, I think I need TikTok. This is where people are finding recommended reads is TikTok. So when we start talking about influencers, there are definitely massive influencers on both TikTok and YouTube. YouTube is doing something similar. So there are YouTube channels that specialize in book reviews and usually of a certain genre. Sorry, this is making me dizzy with the repeat. I can only handle so much TikTok. I mean, so yes, we have to be kind of strategic about this. I don't love hanging out on these social media platforms. But I wanted to show you that yes, you can post your own videos on social media. Sabine of Thinking Dog Publishing, that's her LLC, does these really great little videos. She's super creative. She has fun with it. So check out her channel. I'll post a link in all these resources. But I also wanted you to see the influencer side, where even if you don't want to build your own library of videos that you're posting on a platform, there might be an influencer. And if they just posted one review of your book, how powerful could that be? And remember, the order of operations matters. So I'm not actually telling you to go out and do TikTok right now today. I'm giving you the preview of the order of operations that I'm recommending, which is get the book out for sale, get that Amazon page optimized, and then everything that you do takes people back to the Amazon page where people can buy your book. And remember, your book has that reader magnet in it, the lead magnet in it, so that people can join your email list. And so you can see right here, Sabine has a link. And when you click this link, you can get on her book launch team. You can go to Amazon and buy the books, right? And so remember that ecosystem that we're building. So once we have the book with the freebie inside of it, and it's got an Amazon optimized page, now any marketing efforts that we do for the rest of our lives will point back to these foundations that we've already set up. Okay. The tool I want to show you, we have a couple of tools. I'll link to all of them in the resources, but the tool that I want to show you is called Canva, Canva. Canva's been around for a long time. They continue to build out really great tools and easy to use templates and things like that. So we love Canva, and this is, and Providence is like, yeah, Canva's priceless. This is where we build those little videos. So the 5-second videos, this one's not even 5 seconds. This is, let me see if I can hit play here. Oh, there's the music. So this is for Nate's book. That's the book 2 that's launching next week, right? So it's kind of just a cool little eye-catching video. And essentially we're just asking people to grab the ebook, right? So that's built out in Canva. I think we had another one from a different genre. But the idea is the same, right? We have the book cover, we've got some snippets, she's got something to prove, he's got everything to lose, free for a limited time. So we're driving people back to that free promotion. You can also do just static images if you're like, well, the movement's too much, or I want a variety. You can do static images here, just have the book cover, have a little, tagline here about the book. And you can see all of these are as easy as just clicking in and editing the text. It's what you see is what you get. And we're taking everyone to that Amazon page. And here's some different examples. So again, I'll share some links to some of these examples in our resources area. And so we're taking everyone to the sales page, and we're wanting everyone to grab a copy of the book and come back and leave a review on the page. So, oh, I'm sorry, that's the wrong window. All righty. So we've talked about book launch team. We're talking a little bit about social media. We've talked about sort of optimizing on Amazon. I want to give you our last few minutes together today. We'll continue this tomorrow. Don't worry. Paid promotion. Paid promotion is interesting because there are lists of readers, and people join these lists because they get notified of free books. And then we can pay something like $20 to have an email sent to these people or a social media sent to these people that says, hey, Nate's book is free this week. And so a couple of sources that we have enjoyed. One is Crave Books. So readers join Crave Books because they want to get notified when these books are free or discounted. So it's a way for readers to discover new books, and we can select specific lists. I want a promotion to be sent to people who like, sci-fi or self-help or memoir or YA or fantasy or whatever it is, right? You can select the lists of readers, pay $20, sometimes less, sometimes more, and a promotion will be sent specifically to those readers to say, hey, so-and-so's book is on, is free, or is the ebook is 99 cents, or the ebook is $1.99, whatever it is. Similarly, written word media is another one that we've used. They just have different lists, right? And I like these because they have within one portal, one login, you can access many lists. You can also work directly with the owner of a list. So a famous one is the Fussy Librarian. She's been around forever. So you can just select an individual list that you want to work with. So you can work directly with the Fussy Librarian. She probably has several lists, actually, now that I think about it. So she's kind of her own little enterprise over here. Or if you work with Written Word Media or Crave Books, they bring together many lists and you can select your lists. Some of these this is Turn Your Computer into a Money Machine, which is going to be nonfiction. There are some that are specifically for nonfiction. So yeah, you want to go and select some of those. For nonfiction, Martha, the other area you want to think about is, here's another one, a motivation for life and business. The other thing you want to think about is Other business owners in your space, they probably have email lists as well. Could you ask them, could you even pay them to send an email to their list? So it's a little bit easier to do for nonfiction, is to find sort of, you can almost think of them as like affiliates in some way, where they have an existing email list or Facebook group or social media following. Can you just pay them? So that becomes, it blends between promotion sites and influencers. Okay, so I'm going to post all these links now that I've kind of figured out which ones I wanted to focus on. I'll post all these in the resources area for you. We will continue this conversation with long-term book marketing tomorrow. And I wanted to remind you, if you were thinking about applying for book coaching and mentorship, I would go ahead and do that today because I've just got a few more slots in my calendar. I'm talking to folks about whether it's a good fit for them. And we're going to be wrapping up kind of this enrollment period and getting started with our next cohort of authors. So this is paperravenbooks.com/go. If you want the information on the fiction program, I've got a whole talk through here of what that fiction program looks like and how coaching and mentorship with us for a year works, and all the pieces of the program, including working with one of our senior book coaches, us doing your cover design, your interior design, formatting all your final files, publishing your book before we publish, setting up your website, your freebie, talking through your marketing action plan, setting up your promotion, all the stuff that we have been talking about, we actually do together in a year-long program. And so, yes, so we do a full book with you in 12 months. Actually, usually it's less than that. We've got some bonuses this week, the Get Paid to Publish workshop, the Personalized Market Opportunities Roadmap, the best-selling series fast tracks. We talk through those series arcs. And this is, where did I put the price? It's $9,500 for the year, or we can do payment plans. Oh yeah, I put it right. Yeah, I put it right here. One payment of $9,500, or we have some payment plans to help. I think we've got 4 payments of $2,400, 11 payments of $950. So some different options. And we walk through this process with you for a full year so that you feel, empowered, competent, confident that, yes, I know my first book and all the foundations are set. And as you go forward and continue publishing books, you've got the knowledge, how the whole process works. You've been through the process with us for a year, and we want to empower you on your long-term author career. So that's available right now. paperravenbooks.com/go is where you submit the refundable deposit and fill out an application and then get on my calendar. But I've got just a few slots open this week and next week, and enrollment's happening right now. So I will go through a couple of those details tomorrow at the end of our time as well. But just wanted to keep that on your radar. Go ahead and apply today and grab one of those last remaining slots in my calendar to chat about with me. All right. Thank you guys. We'll be back tomorrow with long-term book marketing, and I'll get all those resources and replays posted for you. All righty. Bye, everybody.